Yo, yo, yo. What is up, everyone? How are we feeling today? Got a lot of the usual suspects in chat, I see. Today is going to be focused on working on that Insight VIP that I started last year. And yeah, we'll see if we can make some progress on it. Oh, I gotta change the output to this, make sure y'all can hear this. There we go. What's up, Michael Lynch? First time chatter, Gucci Noodle, what's going on? I'm such a big fan. Really appreciate that. Just gonna take a quick second here to warm up my fingers a bit. Not for long, because latencies. I'm inside of the VIP project right now, and the latency is pretty intense. When are you coming back to DC? Presumably next year. Yeah, there's probably not going to be much touring left for me this year. I've finally been able to do some weightlifting again, which is great. So I took a break from it because of my wrist injury, but today was day number 2 for the of doing a little bit of strength training for the first time in I think 4 months or so. Gonna get swole. Alright, let's hop in the project file here. Let's set my phone away. Gotta turn on the panorama as well. So I have some ideas. There's a very rough outline right now. I think what I started with originally when I was when I was working on this a couple years ago, I think I started with this. then, okay, the lead. Obviously the lead as well. So it was nice to see that it worked so well at 130. It's only 10 BPM away, but I feel like it feels quite natural to play that riff over the 4 to the floor feeling. So really the challenge right now is to create some kind of a intro. But I have an idea. So let me show you guys what I've got so far. So the original intro, you know, there's the big drum hits. I think originally I started recreating that at 130, but I think what I'm going to try to do is try to do some interesting, softer, like synth sound design with similar chord hits, like syncopated hits and stuff. So I still got to figure that out. And then originally I was also going to, I think originally I was going to do the chord progression that I was going to do in the original Inside version, but I don't know. I think I want to start with that synth here. Just something really basic. And then we're just gonna... Obviously we're gonna elaborate on all of this. And then like a vocal... Oh, those are off right now. Oh yeah. Some kind of weird little 4 to the floor section here, and that can go into this into the build with the snare rolls. So there's a few different ideas to work with here already, which is nice. I think we're gonna... Okay, so I think there's a lot of work to do here, but I think there's a few moments that I'm already kind of excited about. So let me focus on getting like some of this fleshed out here. Right after this little syncopated hits intro happens. Let's take a look here. I think I may have muted the fill that was going into this section. Oh, okay. No, I just need to get some claps going in here. Maybe, well, maybe not quite yet in this section. Maybe I'll add that once the vocals pop in a little bit later over here. And obviously we want some kind of synth chord. So, all right, neurons are firing away, so time to stop talking so much and get to work. Just start slapping things in here. Okay. We'll throw another table in here. There's one around here that I... Yeah, let's do 24, something like that. Now we'll get rid of the low end. Actually, that's a little too much. Too much away for the low end. Let's do a shelf. Yeah, let's do something like this. And we'll do some porta. That sounds better. Okay, nice. So let's record that. Yeah, it's not the kind of stuff I'd normally write here, but for some reason I thought it'd be kind of cool to throw something like that in there. Super minimal, just like I don't even know what kind of house that style is borrowing from. Just like that 16th note bass pluck. I gotta fix those vocals, but first let me get some claps in here. What's up, Jake Durs? Nice to see you here. Hey, Noxel. Hey, Hottie Plays Music. Jessica's here too, damn. Everybody's hanging out. Alright. So there are a few random little snaps and claps that I recorded during the streamathon. So let's try to use some of those. Let's see. Yeah, and then we'll pan them as well a little bit. Kind of cool to have a 16th note Hey Patrick Marcus, what's going on? First time chatter, appreciate you tuning in. More of a flutter. so let's add a clap that right over there. Let's go like this. I don't think this is the kick that I want, but it'll do for now. Okay, it might be helpful too if we try to remake this synth because, unfortunately, this is one of the patches that just didn't make it when I did that Ableton update, which is a little unfortunate. Okay, let's check it out. Okay, let's add just a little. It's really simple. Doesn't need to be exact, but something similar would be helpful. Okay. Do something like this. Actually, let's do a macro here for the cutoff. Okay. I think we can still copy the MIDI over. Okay, there we go. Yo! Thank you for the sub, Batman. First time chatter. The Mike Lou been sitting in the new album waiting room. Any news? Me too, man. Me too. It's a process. I have a lot of music I've been working on, especially these last couple of months on stream, and if you're curious enough, you're more than welcome to go through my VODs and see where things are at. But right now I've got about 12 to 15 songs that I wanted the album. And it's just a matter of, you know, locking in, getting over imposter syndrome and figuring out how to wrap them up. That's really one of the core issues with my workflow right now. A lot of second guessing and stuff, and like, oh, is this right? Is this the best it could be? And yeah, I need to get better at just executing. Where's that hi-hat that just randomly stops? I think it's here. There we go. Actually, let me undo this. I'm gonna add this as another kick to consider. This EQ curve is cracking me up. Am I still armed with that sound too? Because it kind of sounds like I am. Yep. Let's also make this mono. Maybe a tiny bit of Porto. Okay, just playing around with different ways to evolve this intro idea. Yo, thank you for the follow. Capin Stapin. I don't know if I said that right. Alright. So assuming, I think what we might be able to do is let's add a little more to this intro stuff here. I'll take the drums here. Okay, so. Okay, we gotta copy all the other stuff over to this area. Also, let's get the... Whoops, I did not mean to do that. Maybe a bit softer. Okay, anyway, so then we, in theory, that keeps going when we go into this section here. Okay, it's on the offbeat in that MIDI. Okay, considering maybe doubling this section too, and we can always shorten it. No problem with that. So let's see. We'll just go like that. Okay. What latched on there? Not the sustain pedal automation again, y'all. That's crazy. The amount of time I spend deleting sustain pedal automation. It'd be so sick if you could just like view statistics about things you've done in your life. Like how many hours did I spend putting on socks? Cumulatively, you know. I wonder how much time I've spent editing sustain pedal MIDI automation. Okay. I think that section can be cool just for that brief moment, and then so it's not the snare we want, but let's just throw in a fill real quick. I think it's this one. Why does it sound so strange? Probably get rid of this. Cool. And then I think this section is just going to be about fine-tuning the sounds and the mix and stuff. Originally I was playing around with changing this all together, but I think it works quite well like that. Okay, let's EQ this sine thing just a tiny bit. Just a little bit. Oh, those vocals there are bothering me so much. I think I saw an article about I know the Neuralink stuff is extremely controversial, and it should be, but I mean the cases that it's being used on are like obviously like extreme scenarios where, you know, somebody is paralyzed and or, you know, can't use their hands, or, you know, something like that. And I know that I think it was last year there was this guy doing a lot of public appearances who had a Neuralink, and he was kind of showing how he can use it as like a mouse cursor and all this kind of stuff. And there's an article I saw recently about this fully paralyzed woman. I think her name was Aubrey. And the highlight of the article was basically that she was able to write her name with the Neuralink device. And anyways, long story short, a part of me does wonder if that technology ever gets advanced enough, if people are using it for everyday things. I'm like, would I consider doing something like that for music production? Because damn, it's so hard to do everything quickly enough. For me at least, like, I have all these things I want to do, and I try to do them as fast as I can. By the time I've done task A and B, and then I'm already like, wait, what was C and D? I don't remember. It would be pretty insane if there was a way to introduce that into your workflow, but then you probably get like Tesla ads while you're trying to make music. It's like the free version of Neuralink. You just gotta. It's straight up just Black Mirror stuff, honestly, at that point. I think I'm going to change that ARP, because even though that's a big part of the song, I don't just want that ARP playing nonstop. It's going to be like, 2 minutes at that point of just an ARP, the same ARP going on. It's a little bit too much, I think. So let's try to change this into something that still works. I think what might help us figure that out is if we just record the piano real quick. Okay, let's just assume we'll use that take. Let's find that synth. Something like that could be alright. Okay, we'll just use that. Thanks for the follow, Anglevale. Alright. think we might want to try a felt. Let's do the double felt. Yeah. It's too early for like the full. Ah. Give me the energy I need to finish this VIP. Thank you, coffee. I want everything to start getting high passed here. I think something else that could be kind of cool here is if we had some just some saw stack chords hitting. I mean, it is a VIP, so I could get away with doing some weird extra long fill here if I wanted to do something like that, but I could try to do embellishments like that and maybe some more callbacks sounds from the original at the end. Let's see. I'm not sure how I want to do the low ends if I'm gonna do something like that, but we'll figure it out. Oh my god, why do I see Cindy Shum talking about Haywyre Newgrounds? I think to this day there's only one other artist that is actually highly successful that came from Newgrounds, which is Space Laces. Man, even back then, this was literally about 15 years ago, and even back then his stuff was like was crazy. I remember listening to it and I was like, how the hell is he doing this? Good old corn and beans days. there's a lot going on here. What if I broke it like a little bit earlier, like one measure earlier than in the original, and then just did like an obnoxiously long lick into the drop? Let's just try it out. Why not? So it would stop right around here. What does this sound? Oh. Kind of forgot about this. I feel like, yeah, Newgrounds was such a great pre-SoundCloud era place, I feel like. Huh. That little clicking, I'm trying to understand where that's coming from. I thought maybe it's from that automation re-triggering over and over again. Might be the distortion. No, is it the multiband? Oh, it's not even on multiband anymore. Probably can't be that. That's not bad right now. Yo, thank you for the follow, Hate Core. Okay, the mix is pretty terrible right now, but it's okay. As long as nothing's extremely abrasive, we'll survive.
Understanding everything.
next thing, I think we want to kind of make the drums a little more interesting. Might be time to start experimenting with something other than this kick. There's one I have been really enjoying using recently. It's one that I made last year. Yeah, let's throw this in here. Let's see how that sounds. I like the kick and the drop. Yeah, this one's really nice for like, yeah, I like that. We need something in the center for the claps too that's a bit more harsh. Really, yeah, that's a bit loud, but something like that I think will help. Yeah, let's get rid of the drums here and add some different fill. Okay, these are all temporary, so maybe I can just put them all in one group and put some effects on the group as a whole. Let's see. Some of it might end up in the final. We'll see. Oh, we gotta sidechain it too. Oops. Probably the Pro MB. Maybe we take the mix all the way down here. Okay. Although, I think we don't want the clap here. Just the kick. Okay. This was a patch I literally made in like 2 seconds, so maybe we can kind of make it a little more interesting. I don't know, something like that could be cool. Let's do it like this and go maybe like every bar. effects on it yet either. I'm not sure if there's anything else I can think of right now that I really think the sound needs. You can always try to revisit it later. Although oh, I already had a Pro MB on there. I didn't see that. Let's get rid of that, some of the stereo in the low end. I think in this second half here, we can bring the clap back. The clap back. Whoops. Didn't mean to smack my pop filter. Poor pop filter. Okay, that snare is terrible there. There's one other thing I wanted to do real quick. Let's get rid of the claps there. Let's get rid of that snare. All right, let's go to that pre. Yeah, hold on. I kind of forgot I was gonna add an extra measure here. So let's go like this. I don't know. Okay, gives us an opportunity here. Why is that not picking up any MIDI? Something like that could be cool. I like holding the tonic there during the break. Let's just throw that in there for now. All right. Timing is kind of messed up. Okay. Okay. Also the intro before the intro, I still need to work on that as well, but let me take a quick listen to what we got right now. we want to try to remove a little more low end, I think, from the mix leading into that. So let's get this high pass on the piano going. Maybe like this. I actually don't really like that clap there. I kind of think we want some kind of snare instead. I don't know what kind of snare, but let's something short and high pitched. Let's find something. Actually, for a moment I thought maybe a Sophie snare, but those can be a little crazy. Eh. It's a nice snare, but not what we're looking for, I don't think. That's kind of a cool sound, but highly doubt this will work there. Where did I put it? I don't think so. Let's keep looking. Nope. Nope. Actually, that's not too far from what I'm... Yeah, it's not far. Hey, thank you for the follow, Marty Menning. We share the same first name. Assuming you're not using a pseudonym. Let's try this one as well. Oh, actually, yeah. One of these could... Ooh, I actually really like this snare. I've used it as a layer in a lot of other sketches. So let's try this out, see if that works. I think we need to turn down the volume a bit. It kind of works-ish. I think it's pretty solid. Nope. If we shorten it a bit, I think it could be my favorite of those three. So it's okay for now. Not too sure about these chords anymore. What if we got rid of that 16th note bass thing? I think that could work better. So let's just create a new version of this. Well, sure, let's go like this. Make it envelope. Okay. Hold on. I think if it's mono legato, some kind of bass slide could be cool there. Not crazy about that synth fill there, but let's just keep working. Yeah, let's just record that real quick. Let's quantize this. I mean, that could be cool maybe for the second drop. Let me see. Yeah, I think maybe for the first one we do keep it a bit simpler. So I'm gonna swap these out basically. I'm gonna go like this. Yeah. And then we'll edit back in the original length of these other sounds. We'll just go through it one layer at a time. Yeah, I'll grab this, go here. Okay. Well, this is muted anyway, so we don't need to worry about that. All right, and here we're gonna do a pretty extreme low pass filter on this bass sound, see if that can help make it feel a little more subdued, sliding into that downbeat. It's better. You know what? Maybe we do just make another new sound for that specifically, because I think we could make something cooler. Just trying to hear if I'm pay attention to whether I'm hearing anything specific. Hey, first time chatters. Marty Menning, what's up? Thanks for joining. And Koppenstoppen? Is that a German thing? I heard a version of I Can't Go For That years ago. Do you still have it in your archive? Oh, man. I might have some kind of version of that around, but no, nothing ever came of that, unfortunately. The label that asked me to work on that didn't like the direction that I took with it, which is totally fair. I think I was. We gotta do follow up. I wouldn't say taking a questionable route with it or anything like that. It just wasn't what they were looking for. That's all good. Yo, thank you for the follow, Monster Music. All right. What do we do next here? So if we isolate the high end right now, I'm pretty sure we're barely going to hear. This is kind of dominating the high end, so... Actually, what could be cool is maybe we sidechain... Maybe we sidechain this to the lead synth? I need to get more used to doing that again because it can really help make mixes feel more polished. It's probably not necessary, but... Okay. Okay, some of those bass sounds didn't quite carry over either, so I'm gonna have to rework those. This is not doing anything. This is muted. What is this? Oh, right. Okay. We can delete that as well. I don't think I want that. Okay. Might try to do some quick cleanup here, see what elements... Alright, okay. That's when I was gonna do the OG intro chords, which I think in the original it was fun, but I like this direction more. Let's see if we can grab some drums from I like that hit. It sounds cool. It sounds like a totally different vibe, but it does sound cool. Where are those drums at? Are these... Okay, this is just like a random like noise layer. How about these? Ooh. Yeah, we could probably use these. Ooh, I like that clap. I don't know where that came from. Oh, it's from one of the sounds I used in the chromatically drum kit. Okay. Okay, we can try to EQ this clap a bit. Maybe we add some Foley hits there, like some glass shattering. Actually, that I think that I've been enjoying using the Closey sample pack recently because those claps have some nice Foley in them. Let's take a look. Yeah. Or we just use actual claps. Yeah, let's go like this. Switch this to sidechain A. I think I had one more idea for this fill. Just add a quick noise layer in here. Okay. And we'll just go like this. Triplets. Yep. And then we'll go pan. Okay. All right. Let's go in here. Maybe let's have it pan a little bit faster. Texture. Try to throw another layer of sound to match that. Okay, digital white noise. What about cymbals? Percussion, crowds, ambience, water could be cool. I don't really want to spend much time on this, but I mean, these are all pretty subtle differences. Let's go back to the water. Whatever. That's fine. Okay. I'm starting to realize something. Piano should be kind of like low pass here. Let's go like this. Maybe a little bit of resonance. Okay, let's get in a shaker here as well. Let's make this red, call it shaker. We don't want to forget to do that. I just want to, before I forget, to do this other stuff too. I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna low pass some of these other elements when that vocal comes in to really draw more attention to it. Everything. Outside of our understanding, everything. Everything. Outside of our understanding, everything. Outside of our understanding, everything. Outside of our understanding, everything. 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 Outside of our understanding, everything. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing here. Yeah, we need the second half of this. I think it does work to have it go once more, but we need some more variation for that second half. Okay. I don't know. I think we needed like a little bit of stuff going on. Just some little ear candy stuff on these claps. Sometimes when you're trying to work fast, it's just kind of funny. I like threw that clap or that sound in there and then instantly deleted it. Not at all what I was trying to do. Okay. Here we go. Something like this. And then we can get a quick shaker loop going in here too. Let's take a look. What do we got? Oops. Actually, that could be perfect for now. Beautiful. Oh wait. I think I meant to do it here. Yeah. That's better. I think we want those claps to continue going into this next section. Oh, I don't have audition on. Like this. like how the snare comes in there. I think we need some kind of reversed... Yeah, let's try a reversed clap for that. Give it a shot here. Yeah. And we might low pass it a tiny bit as well. Okay, that sounds a little bit better. Where's that snare? There it is. Okay, I'm pretty convinced after this album I am going to give Reaper another try. Whoops, that's not the right snare. I'm just like thinking about if I can earn myself a little bit of time, like put out music and like get the new album out and like tour it and etc. etc. Maybe when I come home I can take that time to learn like the absolute minimum amount of coding necessary to get some value out of Reaper. I think we want to stereo spread that a tiny bit. I don't have Haywyre installed in here, so I'm just gonna use. Okay, and let's also get that low cut to go a little bit higher. Let's get rid of those, yeah. Let's get those offbeat claps in there as well. I think they're right here. Okay, we're making progress. We're making progress. One of the big things that's missing right now is this intro idea. Maybe let's try to use... Yeah, I have an idea. Let's... Okay, all vocals. Let's record these and try to incorporate them into the intro a little bit. Everything is outside of our understanding, everything. Okay. Kind of just want that first hit. Everything, 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 everything. Everything, everything. I will say, going back to the gym again has definitely been a little bit of an adjustment for my wrists. Feeling a little bit of tension in it. I forgot that this is a totally different key in the beginning. Damn. I think for the sake of just getting shit done, I might just ignore this for the time being and just try to work chronologically from here forward. Yo, thank you for the follow, Iomotus. Okay, let's get let's get another fill going in there. We could just copy over what we made over here. Yeah, let's just use that. Why not? Wait, wasn't there supposed to be a little fill there? I think I need to jam on this for a second to figure out. I'm not just gonna keep doing that ARP there. Yo, thank you so much for the follow, .name, and thanks for subscribing, Imotus. Really appreciate it. That's kind of cool, though. Because I think the ARP has to stay there for the first drop. I'm enjoying kind of jamming and just riffing on it, but we gotta make sure people know without a doubt what this what the VIP is. Hold on. I think that might be it. Hey, thank you for the follow, Noel Deriff. I think that's probably it. Let me just play that riff a few times on top of this so I know I can get it. Just the latency is rough. Alright, let's see. Okay, we can get it for sure. Let's record it. Yeah. That's close enough. So let's just try it again. Damn it. Thought I had it. I actually really like that. How would that sound? Well, now let's just keep the classic. What the hell is going on here? You know, it'd be cool. I wonder if we bring back that like 16th note bass pattern here. These are old drums. Let's mute that. Let's get another keyscapes open here, because I think at this point I am curious to see if I can. In the original, the bridge is kind of like this piano breakdown. If I really want to get jazzy with it in this version. Kind of feeling the like toned down, simpler vibe. That's kind of how it's shaping up so far. How does this... Okay, wow. Pretty big difference between the intro and drop drums. Super mid. It's pretty messy, but it at least communicates the energy, I guess. Actually, what if we did like a washed out stutter piano? What am I doing here? Thank you for the follow. Oh, Johnny? Oh, yo, sorry, I missed some first-time chatters. What's up, Sublime? What's up, Noldorf? I didn't know this Haywyre streamed on Twitch. Yeah, it's starting to do it more regularly these last couple months. It started back in June. Wild Nessie, which MIDI keyboard do you prefer between that Kai MPK Mini Plus and the Novation? You know, I'm so used to having access to high quality keybeds that I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't even like those are just both in the same like lower tier bracket in my opinion, but it doesn't necessarily matter unless you care a lot about your keybeds. You know, if you are using performing on your MIDI keyboards a lot and in your workflow, and you do prefer also like those keybeds that are a little more I guess higher quality is probably the way to phrase it, then I probably wouldn't recommend either one of those. It's tough because unless you can like cough up the cash, it's tough to find good keybeds out there at a reasonable price. I mean, I had the Kai MPK 88. That was one of the first 88 key keyboards I got, and it bothered me so much because at school, you know, we would have access to these practice rooms, and there'd be uprights and grands, and they felt it felt so much easier to play fluently on those, but yeah, it's just tough. A lot of it comes down to just affordability, I guess, what you can personally afford, and I'm lucky enough that I was able to get a bit of a better deal on this Nord Kawaii. I had to not pay the full normal amount for this, but let's record this in here. Okay. So let's do an octave lower here. Actually, it could be cool to do this with the vocal too. So let's take this. This is not something I would perform, so I'm gonna put it with the composition group somewhere down here. And let's take that little everything vocal blip that we were considering using in the beginning here. Yeah. Let's cut this and we'll put that down there as well. Yo, thank you for the follow, Mantiza. 3 Z's. Do you happen to enjoy pizza? Yo, another follower. Wildness Lab, what's up? Thank you so much. All right. Where is that little vocal blip? There we go. So I think I'm just gonna take the auto pan, copy it up here. See if we can line these up a little bit. And we can freeze the reverb, actually. That could be a good way to keep it from... There we go. Just want to make sure I'm getting the timing right. Yeah, it's not bad. For some reason this one sounds like it's off now. Huh. That's kind of weird. Let's just bounce these to audio. I don't know why. Sometimes the auto pan, I swear, it like randomly changes. The offset like randomly changes. Wow. Is that did not work. Okay, I guess you can't render the frozen reverb. That's interesting. But it doesn't really matter because we can just go like this. We gotta do follow-up. We can just bounce this and then chop it. First time chatter, I'm Otis. Thank you for the music you create. It has been with me for years in good and bad times. Keep creating and I wish you much success. Thank you so much. That is extremely kind of you. Yeah, for any of you that are also creators of any kind or music, art, content, whatever it might be, you might know how humbling it is to know other people out there are supporting you and enjoying what you're doing. I don't know. I try not to think about it because it kind of freaks me out still to this day. Also, thank you for the follow, Ferdox1195. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's weird. I can't really address the reality of that head on because it's like... I notice it when I get on stage, when I'm getting ready to play a show. And if I've been touring a lot, then it doesn't really affect me as much. But a lot of times when I first step on stage and I'm getting ready to play my set, I'm like, Jesus, there's a lot of human beings here. And I've always been the kind of person that is affected a lot by that kind of pressure. But after getting into it for a little bit, it tends to go away. And I figured out to just focus on what I'm there to do and what I'm good at and try to enjoy it obviously as well. That's kind of cool. if we can like smash this a bit more so we can keep hearing. Let's turn up the decay. I think, considering how washed out these notes are getting, I might have to just do 2. Yeah, let's just do those 2. Because if the reverb tail is hanging on a tension note, then it's gonna sound a little off. Also, somehow this is offbeat again, so let me solo this and figure out what's going on. Yeah, it's better. Alright, where's the lower octave? It's right here. Except we want to use this. So we're gonna go like this. There we go. And let's just bounce that out. First time chatter, Ferdox11, what's up? Didn't know you streamed, so excited. Don't get your hopes up, but I'm here 4 days a week now. So my schedule at the moment, I just posted the times I'll be sticking to for the foreseeable future. But it's Tuesday, 1 p.m. CDT to 4 p.m. It's all CDT. I'm in the Midwest. And Thursday, 1 to 4. What time is it? It's 3. Got an hour left of me. And Friday, so tomorrow I'll be doing a Feedback Friday. So it's also my birthday tomorrow, which is interesting. See, didn't I just make sure this was on time and now it's off time? What is going on here? At least it's audio now, so I can't really, I can't mess up now. Hey, you're also on August 8th. Nice. Yeah, growing up, I loved having that as my birthday because it just made my life so easy. I know it sounds silly to put it like that, but it just really, it always felt like one less thing to have to worry about. Okay. This could be cool. A little break. I like it. It'd be cool, actually. Okay, so I'm starting to, hopefully in the next hour, I can get, like, a good outline of the entire thing. Maybe minus that weird little intro idea, but we'll see. Maybe we can get to that as well. It'd be nice to have at least a convincing full sketch of the whole thing. That would be a good feeling. Good way to end the stream. Okay, so I think we can do it. I want to see what this sounds like with the felt piano underneath it. It's being high passed. There we go. This could be an opportunity to maybe throw some little flares in there in terms of chords and harmonies and such, but largely I want to keep the chord progression super simple in this VIP. Actually could be cool in that higher octave. Hey, thank you for the follow. Corny Cat, what's up, what's up? First time chatter, Corny Cat, love this song. This is getting me through the last few hours of work. Hell yeah. MN, as in Minnesota, I'm guessing. Love Minnesota. I lived there for 3 years while I was in university. Although, to be fair, I didn't really see that much of Minnesota while I was there, but I still go back pretty often. Well, okay. I'm really enjoying jamming on the vocal section here, so maybe we consider doubling this. We'll see, we'll see. Let's double it. Whoops, where did the vocals go? Right here, okay. Double that too. Yeah, I think that feels better, and then we can start like the elongated second build over there. So let's start in the kind of like this middle register here, and then work our way down to the more dramatic lower end. Whoops. That wasn't that great. Let me try that again. Ah, okay, okay. I think I know I want to do that at the end. And then that'll be a cool way to lead into that second build up. Okay, let's keep focusing on this. Once we have a good take for this, it'll be really easy to move forward. Thank you, Ugly Shih Tzu, for the follow. Appreciate it. I don't know. I think it's close enough. Maybe we take this little ARP thing, throw it up an octave. Timing is all messed up. Okay, the low end of that is obnoxious, so we'll have to really work on EQing that. But it could be cool to have some strings play along with that potentially. The dum bum 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 bum. But then okay. How do we want to approach the beginning of this build? So I think the second half we know we want to have the snare rolls and all that goodness. So let's copy that over for sure. Maybe we can use these big saw chords. No, not the sustain pedal. Sustain pedal. There we go. Go like that. And it's gone. Let's, before we move on from the piano. Okay, isn't there some macro here that I set up to... I forget that this was... I made this in the OG serum. Well, this isn't being used. Maybe I can use this filter. There we go. Okay. I definitely think the extra measure in the break before the drop there will be pretty cool. Second time around. So let's try to add these chords in, I think. Whatever, let's just try it. Hold on. Yeah. Although, okay, so in the original, I'm just remembering that in the original, the second drop has the melody. So maybe, hold on a second. Okay. Let's keep that little fill that I created there at the end for now. Let's try to basically just copy paste that sketch of the first drop over for the second drop and see how it sounds if I play the melody. Yeah, I think we might be able to get away with it if we add more elements in there. Let's just assume that we can make that work and try to record that in just a moment. I think that there's, for some reason, the bass there is the wrong octave. What are we at? We are at 311. I think I can pull off creating a sketch of the full idea before 4. Wait. Something's not... What the... There we go. All right. Okay. Let's take another listen and see. think like second half maybe I can just jam on it a little bit. Okay, then that's where the end would be. Well, let's take another look at that. I don't know, it's gonna be pretty rough right now, but okay, let's just record something real quick. All right. Maybe we do a piano thing as well. What if we brought that stutter bass thing back here? Where is that? Where is the... Or not stutter bass. It's the 16th note pluck or whatever. For the second half. Ugh, soloing sounds super rough. Where's that other bass layer? Yeah, let's get rid of that. We can probably get rid of the strings there too. I like the idea there that I had, but I messed it up. I don't know. Let's just record it real quick. Something like that. Okay, that's good enough. We have some kind of jam sketch here. Okay. Let's make sure to get rid of that 16th pluck when those hits start happening over here. I mean, I don't think there's a reason to add the piano outro from the original because the original already has it. So, like, what's the point? We could just add some weird modulation at the end. Okay, let's go back to the beginning and see how we're doing so far on the whole thing. Haywyre, how long have you been playing chords for? I love that question. Since I was a kid, I guess. Feels good so far. It's rough, but the structure works. Okay, so this section is a bit empty now. So yeah, we will need something here. Maybe we add some offbeat claps here. It'd be cool to have some pitch movement in the chords here. No, I really wanted that to work. I was enjoying that, but there is sustained pedal automation. No. Okay. Oh wait, did I not record the melody on top of this section? I thought. Maybe I didn't. So let me do that real quick. Hold on a second. I think that the fill or the lead riff leading into the second drop will have to change. Kind of a goofy sound. Something like that, maybe? Let's just use that fill. Damn it. Whatever. That's good enough for sketching purposes. And I think what happened here? I think I meant to hold it. Okay, I think this isn't a bad outline. Not Herbie Hancock riff. Hey, if I don't play the lick in a stream, I at least have to be able to bust out some Herbie. Okay, I think this is feeling pretty good. Oh, that's right. Okay. There's a couple of small things I'm gonna do before maybe doing like a quick, like a full listen through to see where we're at. I keep catching little things that need to happen in the track 100%. So for example, where's the little fill? Yeah, right here. Okay. So that's right. Okay. We need some toms. Short toms. Ooh. Hate to be one of those guys, but all of our drums are just so good. So we'll go like this probably. I see. I think we need a soft, like, open hi-hat on that downbeat. Something like that. Just to, like, I don't know, smooth out the momentum of this fill. Yeah. That's better. Hold on. I don't know why that chord kept going. Probably sustained pedal automation. I think we're pretty close to a listen through here, but... that's pretty close. The resonance is a bit high there. Let's turn it down a bit. Yeah, that's a bit better. All right, and this, maybe that open hat. So a couple things left. I think this section here is quite empty still. Just add some little piano flourishes there. Let's just record that real quick, because it's... Okay, that at least adds a little something. It's close, but still needs a lot of work. It's always important to keep some of your excitement in check, I feel like, when you're working on an idea. What is going on? My brain. Okay, so that's maybe where it should be halfway through. Let's start the chords around here. I do think I want the silence again, so let's get the... Where's the damn lead? There it is. When the clap hits, let's make sure that the filter... So I think it's just here. Yeah. Okay. Super sloppy, but okay. I think we might be ready to do a quick listen through. Last thing I'm gonna do. These chords are really bugging me. Excuse me. Let's yeah, it's a little bit better. So what do you guys think? Should I, it's already a pretty long song, but what do you guys think? Should I add another piano, outro here? Alright, let's think about how we could potentially end this piano outro. We gotta make it different. Great. Damn automation. I was jamming. Hold on. What is causing this latency? Is it really just, Oh, I'm at 512 buffer rate. No wonder. And then a little bit of latency from the limiter. Okay. I'll just do my best. I think I have a rough idea of what I want to do. Not the automation again. That was my fault. Okay. So here's the deal. I really have to go to the bathroom. So I want to make a deal with y'all. I'm gonna I'm gonna start the song. I'm gonna I'll let you guys listen to it while I go to the bathroom. And when I come back, you have to give me your honest opinion. You think if I'm onto a decent VIP here. If the outline is working, if it's not working, you guys got to tell me. So let me just check on a couple things here before I go. I'll leave you guys to listening. Just want to see if I can. Okay, there we go. Cool. In theory, we could even just start the song like that. It might be good enough like that, but we'll see. All right. So let's go BRB, and I'll let you guys listen to the track, and I'll be right back. Back. Let's finish listening to the rest. Imagine some strings here. Might do some additional vocal layers too. Okay, it's pretty clear that this is even rougher than the first one, but it's okay. Alright, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I think it was a very productive session. Lark on the Clorf. Thanks for subscribing. think I made some good progress on this VIP, and I want to make 100% sure this gets released this year. If I don't get it out within the next few months, I will despise myself. Can't wait to redo this too. Stupid latency. I can hear what I want to do here. It's just hard to play it right with just like 40 milliseconds of latency. Cool. I think it's a pretty solid start. I hope you guys are enjoying it so far as well. I think I will call it here for today. But I had a great time hanging out with y'all and reading what y'all are chatting about, and appreciate the new follows and subscribers. And yeah, keep in mind, I've got a schedule I'm sticking to. Like I said earlier, we got a new follower. Hey, thanks Breeze3. So Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays starting at 1 p.m. CDT. And so I'll be streaming briefly tomorrow to do some feedback. So that's the sole purpose of tomorrow's stream. We're just going to hang out and listen to some submissions if y'all have any. I had a really good time listening to people's submissions back in for the streamathon. That was the first time I'd done it for this new season, the new stream season. But thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. But yeah, I think I'm left with nothing else to say. And on that note, I shall disappear. I should get a little like animation transition where I can like snap my finger and a little puff of smoke appears, and then like the screen is replaced with just an image of the studio without me in it, and then it says offline. That's actually kind of a good idea. I think I'm gonna try to see if I can do that somehow. But anyways, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you tomorrow if you want to tune in to listen to some tracks that y'all are working on together, and then I'll be back on Sunday as well. Peace out. Have a good one.
Do you